We were given a string s and an integer k. You can choose any character of the string and change it into any other uppercase English character. You can perform this operation at most k times. Return the length of the longest substring containing the same letter you can get after performing the above operations. So all this really means is that we can change our string s at most k times, in this case 2. So we can change these b's to a's, b to a, or we can change the a's to b's. So for this one, we're going to be using a sliding window approach. And the way to do this is we're just going to look from left to right, expanding some left and right pointers on this string. And we're going to figure out which letters to convert. So let's start off with A, and then we have nothing that we really need to convert just yet, just because we only have that one letter A. When we move forward, we add another A. We don't have any mix of letters, so we don't have to convert anything just yet. It's only when we get to B that we have to say, all right, well, we have our option to change one of these letters. So let's convert B now into an A. Now, the real trick of this problem is to recognize why we did that. So again, we're using a sliding window approach to tackle this problem. And the reason why we converted this B into an A is because when looking at our sliding window, this sliding window right here, we say, we already have these two A's. We have some sort of majority. And we say, let's convert whatever we have here into whatever the majority is. And this will be the same logic as our sliding window shrinks or continues to grow. So we need some way to capture this majority. So we need some way to keep track of the majority. Let me change the wording of this. Majority might not be the best word for this. Instead, let's use the most frequently appearing. So let's just say keep track of the frequency. Now, if we know the frequency and the length of our window, we know how many times we've changed values within our sliding window. So let's make sense of that. If we have our sliding window length and our max frequency, so if we have our sliding window length, if we subtract that from our most frequent character, then we know how many times we had to change characters in our sliding window. And what's nice about this is that this is just the max frequency of any majority character. It doesn't matter what character it is. It's just so long as that our character that has the max frequency, that we're able to find how many times we had to change character in our sliding window. So let's do it. Let's start adding some of our variables that we were talking about just before. So if we're working with a sliding window, we want to have a left and a right pointer. We want to create a window length, set this equal to 0, and let's create a counter object, counter. Now, if you haven't seen a counter object before, you don't have to worry about it so much. I encourage you to look it up in the Python docs, but you don't have to do that just yet. I think it's going to be intuitive enough to understand what's happening in it. Essentially, this is just a dictionary with some extra features to help us find things like max frequency. So let's just create a loop while true. I like to create infinite loops, which I can break out of when I do sliding window problems. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to add a character in this loop. So instead, let me say r equals -1, and we're just going to say r plus equals 1. We're also going to increase the window length plus equals 1, and we are also going to add a character to our counter. So all we're just going to do is we're just going to say counter that character that we're adding, and then plus equals 1. Yeah, so let me show you how this counter object actually works. We can do something like most frequent equals counter dot most common, and we can pass in any number here to get the top n most common, but we're just going to pass in 1 just to get the top most common. And we can do print most frequent. And let's just do break so I can actually run this and break out of this loop. And it's just yelling at me because I need to return -1 here, or whatever integer. Let me zoom out a little bit. So it's returning this value. Let me just rename this so it makes a little bit more sense. So let's call it most common. And now we can say most common frequency equals this value 0, 1. We're just doing 0, 1 because this is actually just a list. This is the first element in that list. And then this is the number that we care about, that first element. And let me just zoom in again so it's a little bit easier to see. So now that we have all the pieces that we need, we can start doing some of our logic. So let me just get rid of this and that. And we can now use this piece that we were talking about before. If the sliding window minus max frequency is how many times we had changed characters in our sliding window. So let's just kind of put that into an if statement. So if window length minus most common frequency. Now, what do we want to do here? I want to know if I can still make changes within my sliding window. So if the window length minus the common frequency is less than or equal to k, which is the number of times that we can change characters in a sliding window. If the difference between these two numbers does not exceed k, that means I can still continue to make changes. So what does that actually mean? It means that we can just continue on with our loop. So I'm just going to do something like continue. We don't actually need this, but this is just for visuals to say that, like, once we hit this loop, we're going to go back to the beginning. But before we do that, we need to check to see if this is actually our answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to say something like answer equals 0, and then we can do something like answer equals max answer, or right minus left plus 1. Why the plus 1? Because if we have R and L equal to each other, we still have a length of 1 in the string. And what this function does is it just compares the current answer to the right and left pointer and says whichever one is greater, we are going to assign to answer. So now what happens if we exceed this value? So again, what we do for our algorithm is that we extend out every time. But if we start to exceed this value k, then if this is our sliding window currently, what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of this portion. So our sliding window will become just that. So how do we represent that? We're going to say else we are going to decrement from our counter. We're going to grab the left character and we're just going to say minus equals 1. We have to update the rest of these now. So we're just going to say window length minus equals 1. And then finally left plus equals 1, because we're going to be moving this left pointer to the right. Make sure that you put this at the end, because if you move the left pointer before any of these, you'll mess up your data structures. If R is greater than or equal to the length of S, break. So all this really means is if we get to the end of our string, then we are done. So let's just run it now, and that's it. So in summary, again, this is a sliding window approach. We have 2 pointers that initially point at our 0 index, and on every iteration, we move our right pointer to the right, keeping track of the frequency of elements within this sliding window, as well as the window length. If our window length minus the most common frequency of our elements, if that value exceeds k, so this portion of the block, it means that we need to move our left pointer to the right. And if we continue to expand our right pointer to the right, we can check to see if the current sliding window is greater than the previous sliding window.